Okay, revision for the Unit 2 test. Okay, so we'll start with factorising. Okay, first of all, you just want to look for common factors. So, if I had something like 8b squared c plus 14b, I'd look, first of all, at my numbers, okay, and I'm looking for the highest common factor of 8 and 14, and that's 2. I'll open my brackets. Then I look at my next thing. I've got a b squared and a b, so the highest factor I can take out is a b, and I can't do anything with the c because it doesn't appear in both terms. So 2 times 4 gives me 8, b times b gives me b squared, and then I've got a c plus 2 times 7 gives me my 14, and I've got my b already, so I'm sorted. Okay, so you just need to work on things like that. Okay, then what about if you've got a difference of 2 squares? Well, that is a special case, such as x squared minus 9. Okay, so I'll just put a line there. Okay, you've got a square and you've got a square, and the difference is the minus between them. So what you actually have is a repeated square but different signs. So I've got an x in both sides, I've got 9, so the square root of 9 is 3, and I'll have a plus and minus, because what happens is you end up with plus 3x and minus 3x, so you end up with 0 x's. Okay, so let's try another one, and you would have 4x squared minus 25. So if we call that, we'll label these so you don't get confused. Okay. Right, 4 is also a square number, so it's 2x all squared if I look at it, isn't it? And that is 5 all squared. So it tells you what your terms are. So you've got 2x plus 5 and 2x minus 5. And then you're done. Okay. Right, so I'll insert a new page if I remember. Oh, insert a page. There you go. Can I? Okay, hold on a minute. I'm a bit of a learner here with this one. Okay, so insert a page. Oh, actually, if I just go, I'm being daft here. If I just carry on. Okay, I am sure that if I get to the end, oops. Oops. Right. I do apologise. All this technology, and I have no idea what to do with it. So, get to the end, and we'll return. Okay. New page. There you go. Sorry about that. Okay. Right, okay. What about harder ones? So, if I have something like this, and I have got x squared plus 5x plus 6. I'm happy with this because it's just got an x squared, so I know it must just be an x in both. Then I have to look at the 6 and the 5. I need two numbers that multiply to give me 6 but add to give me 5. So I look at my factors of 6, and I have 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. Now they add to give me 7 and they add to give me 5. So looking at my 5 here, it must be the 2 times 3 that I need to use. So I'm going to put plus 2 and plus 3, and it doesn't matter if you have x plus 3 first and then x plus 2. You fully factorise that. Okay. What about expanding? So going back the other way. So if I expand something like this, t plus 3, t minus 4. Okay, I need to have, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 things, so I should have 4 terms at the end of it. So I do t times t, t squared. I do t times minus 4, minus 4t. I do t times 3 plus 3t. And I do 3 times minus 4 minus 12. Be really careful that you're always multiplying. Then I always have 2 terms that I can collect. Okay, so I should have t squared minus 4t plus 3t is just plus t minus 12. And then I'm done. Okay. Right, so let's think what else we can do. So what about simplifying? So lots of different simplifying that we can do. So we have got 3 p to the 5 q to the 3 over 6 p to the 7 q. Okay, right, so looking at my numbers first, I've got 3 goes into 1 once and into that goes twice. If I look, remember about if you are dividing, you subtract the powers. So I've got p to the 5 there, so I can take the 5 off the 7 and I end up with 2 there. Remember, I've got 1 here really, so q to the 3 divided by q to the 1 is actually q to the 3 minus 1, which is 2. So writing that out, I end up with q squared over 2p squared. So be really careful with that, making sure that you know exactly what you're doing with your powers. Okay. Next, remember, if you have got brackets on the outside, so if I've got f g squared cubed, I actually multiply by the power on the outside. So that would become f cubed g to the 2 times 3, which is g to the 6. Okay. So, oops, I lost that off the page. Right. So, next one. Actually, I'm just going to put that down there. Oops. Okay. Would help if I knew what I was doing with this. There you go. I'll get there eventually. Sorry about this. It's giving you thinking time. And the caretaker's about to throw me out. So, what about if I've got negative powers? So be really careful. So, if I have negative powers, such as g to the minus 7, that's the same as saying 1 over g to the 7. So, we need to combine all sorts of things. So, if I had, let's have a look, m to the 5 to the minus 2, I'm going to say, well, that is 1 over m to the 5 squared, because the negative means you do the reciprocal, which is said flip it on its head, and then because I've got a bracket, I multiply, so it's 1 over m to the 7. Okay, a bit tricky, but once you get the hang of it and do enough of them, you should be okay. Next thing, what about if you are simplifying combinations? So let's have a look. What number am I on? I, J. Okay, what about 3x squared y cubed times 8x y to the 7? Literally 3 times 8, 24. X squared, remember, that is x to the 1, so you add the powers, so that's x cubed, and then you add the powers, so you've got y to the 10. Okay. What about if you had a solve? So, solve. 6x minus 4 over 3 equals, I'm making this up so it might not work, so 2x plus 8. Oops. Okay, right, what we need to do is get rid of that divide by 3. So, oh heck, I'm going to run out of room. I am going to just put this on the next page because otherwise it's going to get really complicated. Oops.